Alright guys, so we are going to be taking a look at the banner once again, but we are just going to be taking a look at the SSR this time around because we just have abundance of SSR to take a look at. I couldn't really fit it into like the same video, so that's what we are going to take a look at. And for this video, I am going to go back and forth on into the wiki so we can compare the stats. So I think it will be a little bit easier for you guys to just kind of see hand to hand of what we're looking at. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 SSR to go over. So that's actually quite a lot. Rilola, you guys already know it's not bad. You know, every time we have some of these SSR support a battleship, they can definitely make a good contribution to the team that you're making. This one is a healer, and for Unicorn and Unicorn tag team is actually pretty extensive for the moment, so it could be a pretty good option as well if you guys are not able to get, let's say, some other options. It's definitely not too terrible. But how we are going to be doing it, we'll just take a look at the DPS unit first, or the attackers, followed by defensive units, and then supporter to kind of round things up with. So the first unit we'll take a look at is Angelo's Geara Zulu. So let's just kind of see what's going on. So we are looking at the max stat right off the bat. HP is 94k, attack is 11.3k, so pretty good overall. So we'll take a look at the stat on the wiki in just a bit. Tag with this one is Specialized Unit, New Zeon, and Unstoppable. So Specialized Unit does have its own battleship, so it's actually decent for this team. Unstoppable, you guys already know this team is getting much more and more fleshed out, so it's actually not that terrible. Movement is only 4, unfortunately, and terrain is alright. The abilities and mods, we have increased attack, increased HP, and increased accuracy, which is decent. Alright, if we switch over to the wiki, we're taking a look at it as a DPS unit. Has it already been added on here? So this unit is looking at 13.3. So it is actually just gonna be literally in the middle of the pack if we can find it. Yes, right here. So it's actually very average stat wise. It doesn't even crack into like anything up top. Escanum, where is Escanum anyways? Huh. Oh, Escanum is right here, 13.3 as well, or 11.3. The highest one is actually the Blue Destiny Unit 1. You guys can see right there. So there's that. Alright, it's pretty average stat. Okay. As far as the weapon is actually not terrible, because I'm seeing weapon range up to 5, which is actually good. So both of these are going to be range oriented. Okay, this one, the low HP, the greater the weapon power by 10%, and this one is just a beefier version, so the further you are. Okay, this one could be pretty good actually. Hold up, it's not bad. So the unit itself is kind of decent. So what about Angelo? Let's see what he actually does. Can we not click on him? Hello? Should be able to click on him. If that's the case, we'll just take a look at it from the wiki then. Alright, take a look at the range. Oh, okay. Angelo's stat is actually not bad. 718 and melee 607. So you can technically use this for a melee unit as well. Oh snap. Oh, character skill, range increase, range boost, 15%, and sway. Oh, now we're talking. Okay, that is actually really good. Okay. Increase own damage dealt by 15% and increase range. Wow, that is actually really nice. And New Zeon is actually the affinity tag right there. So New Zeon, we do have a lot of different options, so it's actually not bad. So Angelo may be the better pilot of the batch. Could it be? We'll see. We'll see. So let's move on to the other unit now. So Angelo so far is looking very nice. His own unit Geara Zulu could be a little bit questionable, but at least the pilot is looking solid. The only DPS we have now is Dragon Gundam. So let's take a look at it. HP is actually pretty terrible, but you do kind of make it up. You don't really make it up in any department. Defense, you can say that. But the attack is only 11.3 max out. That, I don't know if we want to talk about that being good, because we saw the chart, and 13.3 is, or 11.3 doesn't really, is that really that good? Okay. Tag wise, none of them were really that good except for Unstoppable, and then H units in a way. Rival tag can be good. This one could be a good option actually. Okay. Weapon wise, if we're talking about the stronger one, it's gonna be this one. So this one is got like the, what is it? I forgot what it's actually called in English translation, but I think it's the one that is like the butterfly looking attack. That one. This one has a 1 to 2 range. Obviously, pretty much all the G fighters units are like that. 5640, it's kind of decent actually. It's not terrible. So the closer you are, the greater the weapon power is. Okay. And the abilities, we have increased own attack by 10%, and when warriors max or higher, another 10%, and defense up by 5%. It's average looking. Tag or the terrain on this one is actually what it is. I'm not really gonna complain too much about that. But if we flip over on the wiki, let's see what we are looking at on here. So it's going to be even lower than Angelo's Geara Zulu. So right about here. So it's actually one of the lower one. Can you believe that? That sucks, man. That really stinks. But if we take a look at the pilot, oh, let me filter this again. Bot attackers and summonable. Melee option wise, dude, where are you at? Saisaichi, where you at? Oh, so Saisaichi is coming in at 598. Oh, come on now. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. You do have increased melee by 15, critical rate boost by 30%. I mean, I don't know if I can count on the 30% crit rate. I feel like it's not really enough, because like the weapon, especially the one that we care about, don't even have like a base crit. There's nothing on it. So it's a little bit questionable, I feel like. Own damage increase, own damage style increased by 15%, and then accuracy and evasion up by 7% when piloting the mobile trait system. And you do have a secondary chance step when you are piloting a unit from Gundam G Gundam, so at least you do have that. But overall, I feel like Saisaichi's stat is a little bit low for a melee pilot, so that is actually very unfortunate, I feel like. Alright, so going back to the list, let's take a look at the defensive option. We have the Jagan ECOAS type. What is that supposed to be acronym for? I forgot what it was, but let's take a look at the HP. So HP is at 113,000. Defense is over 11.3 as well. Okay, that's actually pretty respectable for an SSR defensive type unit. So tag wise, you do have it as type of snail and H unit. So pretty much just those two. The UC series, depending on if you do want to use it for that specifically, you can. But other than that, type of snails and ace units does have a secondary option for defensive type, so it's not terrible. Beam Saber and Bazooka, and both of them does have effect. Decrease accuracy by 12%, and inflict decrease physical weapon power by 25%. Okay. The power on these are within range, I feel like. So I'm not going to really comment too much about that. Ability wise, increase max HP by 10%, and defense up by 10% when you have more than 50% HP, and increase evasion by 5%. I don't know if we really need that, but it is what it is. All right. It doesn't have like the modification where when you are defending or you are providing support defense, you take less damage. So I think overall, as a defensive type unit, you are gonna take a lot, I feel like. And the fact that you don't really have a corresponding pilot to the Jagan as well, that does actually suck. So I will reference back to the wiki in just a bit. I do want to take a look at info of both the defense of the unit first, then we can hop back into it. So yeah, Jagan doesn't have, oh no, Jagan does have a corresponding pilot, so we will take a look at that as well. It just sucks that you cannot click on it right now because I want to see what the stat was. But Gundam Master. So Gundam Master stat is actually, okay, wait a minute. So this one is 11 point or 113. And Maxer is looking at 116, while defense is only 80 or 98. Okay. Let's see. Tag is a little bit more rivals, unstoppable, ace units, so these are good. So this is what I want from the Jagan, but we don't have that. They shoot defense, so yeah, it's not looking too good so far. Weapon first, I guess. Okay. Oh, look at that. A little bit of higher stats overall, so, and better range on this is the Burning Machine Gun Punch, so okay, it's not bad. What this, oh, special. Okay. This one is special as well. Alright. Decreased special weapon and decreased attack as well, so very usable for Maxer Gundam, so not bad. Increased defense and then further increased defense when you have more than 50% HP. And then whenever you're taking attacks with a special weapon, decrease the damage as well. So it's not a bad kit overall in a sense. I like it actually. It's not bad. And the other one we have to take a look at is going to be Gundam Rose. To me personally, I find it strange why they made Gundam Rose a defensive type unit. I would have wished that this one is more of either a support or a DPS. I think support would be in line, but a defensive type unit to me seems pretty obsolete. I don't know. I just don't think it's fitting in terms of how I'm seeing it. Pretty much the same tag overall. Rivals, unstoppable, and then ace units, and you have the shield defense as well, so that looks pretty good. For Rose Gundam, the Rose Hurricane is probably going to be the stronger option. You are decreasing attack, but it is not as strong as what Maxer is offering as far as like the stronger attack. And this one is special, but as far as the weapon stat typing itself is both range and awakening, so it's gonna use that on both of those. Alright. And then the melee weapon itself is actually pretty decent. Not the strongest power, but it does actually reduce the physical weapon power by 25% as well. We're not getting like a 30% treatment. Why? That's sucks. Pretty much the same thing as Maxers, but instead we're getting a physical weapon. So physical weapon is for this one, it's gonna be more like half and half chance, because I don't know what is like the population of like physical beam or special weapon we have in game, but I think it's more of like a mixed bag to have this one, giving you one of the three options. But I know it's kind of fitting, but at the same time, if you do look at it as the as the whole perspective, it may not be effective to some specific stage. So we have that, but nonetheless, it's still good to have some defensive type tool. So I'm not gonna complain too much about that. All right, so going back to the wiki, if we do take a look at the overall stat, Rose is probably the worst of the batch. So 1.5 Gundam is on top. Defense is lower, obviously. So as we do go down, not even going down the list. Gundam G Crux, this one has pretty much the best average of the bunch. So where can we start finding? Okay, so there's Jagan. Jagan's right around here. And you guys can definitely see that the defense does kind of start to increase a little bit as we go down the list. So there's that. And there's Rose. So Rose is sitting at 102. So Max is up top. Jagan and Rose. So Rose defense is obviously higher because it has lower lower HP overall. So there's that. Yeah, Rose does have some of the higher defense. If you're talking about strictly about SSR durability units, and then after that it should come Jagan and Maxa. So overall, it is it's more of a trade-off, obviously. And as far as the pilot's option, let's take a look at the defensive. Wow. So Mickey right here, look at you. Defense is actually the highest, but as far as the character ability, oh, it's not bad. This one I would say is a little bit questionable, but this one is good. 4-star is good, and you do have a second support defense as well, so that looks good. We like that. And then we have George the Sun. Let's see what we're looking at. So defense is not remotely as good. It is just bad. But let's take a look at the rest. MP up. Okay, restore HP by 40. And that's gonna be it, actually. So you only have one defensive support. Okay. What about Chibity now? Yeah, Chibity stat isn't too impressive overall. Attack burst, force guard. You do have 2 support defense, which is actually good, but I don't know why we need the action burst. It kind of makes no sense, to be honest with you guys, but we have that. So I don't know why we need it. kind of strange, but anyways, the other 2 we need to look at is the supporters. So we have what is it? Razzo, and then we have Bolt Gundam, and that's the batch. So let's take a look at Razzo commander type. Okay, I like the weapon range already. So the mobility sucks, but you can transform, so you do have that option. Okay, so keep that in mind. Mobility is higher, and everything else is roughly about the same except for like the attack stat overall. The attack on the Ray Rider is lower. Okay. Tag wise, Lightning Fast is like the only one that's decently good right now. The other ones aren't that good. Weapon wise, ooh, not bad. This one is actually pretty good. The Mega Beam Cannon, or the Mega Beam Rifle, or Launcher, excuse me. You are debuffing 30% beam weapons, so that's good. And defense now on that. Alright. Ability wise, increase max energy by 10%, and then increase mobility and evasion. That's a little bit questionable as well. I would prefer maybe something else besides those. I don't feel like Razzo needs it. Maybe to fit the overall character theme you might think is needed, but for the game structure wise, I don't think they're that good. I really don't think so. And there's actually no corresponding pilot for Razzo, so there's that. Alright, so Bolt Gundam being a supporter is actually why? I don't know, but we do have that. Tag is the same, so interesting. I don't know why they give it everyone the same thing, but ooh, it's not bad. So the Graviton Hammer is a physical, and the Bursting Gaia Crush is a special weapon. It's not bad. It's just the range. I feel like the what is it? The Gaia Crusher could have been like a 2 to 5. It definitely can be, honestly speaking, but they didn't give us that option. Increased mobility as a supporter. Okay. And then increased defense and increased accuracy. Increased accuracy is actually good, but mobility and defense is questionable again. So let me go into the wiki and take a look at the stats. I mean, supporter stats, I'm not really like I'm not really concerning myself with that. I'm really not. But bulk Gundam, if you're talking about just attack wise, is not terrible for what it is. Energy, it is actually on the lower side, only at 396. Razo is not any better at 431, and Razo stat is about the same as boats, just like 100 points, a little bit less than that actually. And as far as Argo, Argo is more of a melee, so let me check that real quick. Melee as a defensive type, or sorry, as a supporter stat is actually not too terrible, so we'll give you that. But there you guys go. So it seems to be that Angelo is actually the cream of the pilot we're looking at, just on top. Having the sway and everything else looks about right. While the other, I wouldn't say are the best. If you're talking about the character themselves, they're not as good as I was expecting. Because like usually some of these SSR pilots they're really good, but not this time actually. But other than that, that's gonna be pretty much it for me, and I will be catching you guys on the next one.